What a matchup for the middleweight title.
Fun card, and obviously the main event is the fight that people have been waiting for a long time. Strickland looked incredible in his last performance, and, you know, how much security do you think we're going to need from Chimaev?
Quite a lot, Danny. You need to hire some extra people because Sean Strickland, as we know, the man's a maniac, but he deserves this shot.
You know, he goes back to Chechnya because somebody wants to buy him a G-Wagon. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll be that. I'll do it. I'll bend the knee for you, man. I like G-Wagons. I think the U.S. government kind of recommends, like, looks at him like a terrorist now. So now Chimaev's scared as shit. Like, oh, man, dude, I want to be I didn't want to go full tip. You, sir, are a whore. Doesn't matter how good of a fighter you are and will always be a.
You don't want to see any of these fight that little Chechen whore. You want to see the last American in the sport going that guy up, and that's what's going to happen.
What did Sean Strickland do to beat Khamzat Chimaev?
Anything I fucking want, dude. Anything I fucking want, dude. I'll bring a fucking go. You'll get distracted. Anything I fucking want.
I think it's a very intriguing fight. I love it. I don't mind seeing it. But for me, it's like, what happened to Nasruddin Imavov? It's almost like we just scrap that. You know,
the fact that these two are probably going to have one of the best pre-fight press conferences in recent UFC history is also definitely coming into play here. I would not be surprised if Paramount has a pair of scissors on the cord to Sean Strickland's microphone at this press conference, because I know for a fact he is going to go absolutely crazy at Khamzat Chimaev. He's been saying so much about him. Terrorist this, terrorist that. He's sure, the press conference may be better.
The fight's officially announced, and the entire MMA world is losing its mind. UFC 328 drops May 9th in Newark with Khamzat Chimaev defending his middleweight title against Sean Strickland. And this isn't just another championship bout. This is 2 years of genuine hatred finally exploding inside the octagon. We're talking about bad blood so thick you can cut it with a knife, sparring session controversies that still have both fighters furious, and personal attacks that crossed every line imaginable. When Chimaev calls Strickland entire tough guy persona fake, and Chimaev's fires back questioning Strickland's mysterious injuries, you know this goes way deeper than belt politics.
Man goes back to Chechnya. Sucks off a dictator. Sucks him off. He was collected on. And then he goes and sells a Bitcoin scam. Chimaev can fight, but sir, you are not a man. The world knows you as not a man. You will never be a man, you little Chechen.
Here's where things get absolutely wild. These two have been at each other's throats on social media for months, but it's not your typical fight promotion theater. Sources close to both camps say the animosity is completely real, stemming from explosive training sessions that left both fighters claiming victory and carrying grudges. Every interview becomes a war of words. Every social media post turns into ammunition. The MMA community is eating it up because you can feel the authenticity of their mutual disgust. Strickland genuinely believes he's the only fighter capable of exposing Chimaev, while Chimaev dismisses him as an insecure fraud still bitter about getting dominated in practice. Neither fighter is backing down, and that's what makes this so dangerous.
Chimaev, guys, this is a fucking true story. And, you know, since we're going to talk about training, one day I made fun of a Chechenian, and he misunderstood what I said. And it was more of like a compliment to the fighter, and he sent me a message talking shit. And I said, Chimaev, you misunderstood, but I will see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Gloves or no gloves, turn up. And then, guess what? No show, no answer. We talked it out. He said, no, it's okay. We talked about it. Here's the thing about Chimaev. The man could fight. The man could fight. We all know that. He beat Usman to a decision. You know, Usman old, retired, but whatever. He still did it. But me and him are different. Chimaev could be right here. I will fight that man to the death right here, knowing I'm going to die. That ain't fucking Chimaev, dude.
But here's what nobody's talking about. Sean's strategic confidence isn't just trash talk. It's calculated psychology. He's convinced his striking style can force Strickland into a long, grinding battle where wrestling becomes secondary. Strickland sees himself controlling the pace, dictating range, and turning this into a 5-round decision war where his cardio and pressure become the deciding factors. That's a bold prediction against someone with Strickland's reputation for finishing fights early. But listen to this part. Strickland isn't just confident. He's studying tape obsessively, and his team believes they've identified specific weaknesses in Chimaev's stand-up game that haven't been exploited yet.
This is one of those fights, though, where, man, if you win this, I think this whole storyline is right there for Khamzat. I very much get the sense that Khamzat would like to fight you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that'd be a big fight. You know, I think that, like, I think I'm probably the only one that could beat Chimaev. I honestly think Fluffy's a better wrestler than Chimaev. Like, I think pace-wise, style-wise, I think over 5 rounds, Fluffy's probably a better. But then stand-up, I think Chimaev might take him to stand-up decision.
Now get this. The sparring session controversy is way more complex than either fighter admits publicly. Multiple gym sources reveal conflicting stories about what actually happened behind closed doors. Chimaev claims he dominated every round, controlling exchanges and landing chokes that left Strickland frustrated and defeated. But Strickland's version paints Chimaev as the one getting outworked and embarrassed in front of witnesses. Here's the kicker, though. Both fighters are probably telling partial truths about different sessions. Sparring stories get exaggerated over time, especially when egos and future paydays are involved. What matters is that both fighters genuinely believe their version, which means they're carrying real psychological wounds into this title fight.
I've obviously made the case for the Khamzat fight. I feel like it's probably one of the biggest fights in the division.
Yeah, no, I mean, nobody who wants to see fucking two little go-fuckers go at it. You want to see a real fucking American fight this little Chechnyan fucking whore in American soil. This is the fight that needs to happen.
Yeah, I hate to spoil it for you. I don't think you're going to get on the White House card.
I mean, dude, who knows, dude? You know, I mean, you know, no, dude. Maybe I got to go hang up at Epstein or some shit. I guarantee you, dude. I guarantee that Chimaev would go to a fucking island. That motherfucker's going all day long. That dirty little.
Hold up. Did you catch what Chimaev said about Strickland's public persona? He didn't just question his fighting ability. He called out his entire tough guy image as manufactured *T designed for attention. That's a direct attack on everything Strickland has built his brand around. We're talking about a fighter whose entire identity revolves around being brutally honest and unfiltered, suddenly being labeled as fake by his biggest rival. You know what's insane? Chimaev specifically targeted Strickland's controversial social media presence and anti-gay rhetoric, suggesting it's all performance art rather than genuine belief. That's the kind of personal attack that fighters never forget or forgive.
Let me ask you, you might have saw Sean Strickland this week. He had a few things to say. He said that you're terrible for the division and he's the only guy out there to beat you. What do you say to that?
What should I say? This guy always talks on my show. We'll see.
But you guys trained together and you choked him out a few times, right?
We did spar a lot before, but that's why he's so mad.
Fair enough. Well, this guy choked him out as well.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'm talking a lot about Sean. I'm not.
Now Sean gonna talk about bad things as well, so...
Okay.
He will be mad.
Is this just part of the game now? I mean, I feel like everybody's talking about Khamzat now. It's the best way to get views.
He's the middleweight champion of the world, and that's the guy that people should want to fight. Good luck with that,
But wait, it gets even more interesting. Michael Bisping, who knows championship pressure better than anyone, admits Strickland genuinely deserves this shot based on his dominant performance against Anthony Hernandez. Bisping isn't just being diplomatic either. He's breaking down the technical aspects of why this matchup is more competitive than casual fans realize. Yes, Chimaev is 15-0 and looks unstoppable, but Bisping points out that Strickland has controlled and dominated most of his opponents too. The former champion emphasizes Strickland's microphone skills and ability to sell fights, which matters in today's UFC landscape, where personality can be just as important as performance.
Made him quit training. Witnesses in the audience. Where's Eric at? I made him quit. No, dude. We're doing positional grappling, and he fucking positional grappling. All right, start on my back, and I was like first round. I let him choke me because it's like no one gives a. Let me tell you about this little. I'll tell you. When I walk into a gym, do you think that I go find the little weakest man? I say, let's spar. I say, no, I go find the biggest, baddest. I'm like, hey, I want to spar you. Every time Chimaev would walk in the gym, he would pick the smallest, lowest level pro and say, but oh, he looks like my opponent. You're beating the fuck out of it. And this is a true story. You guys could back me up, my team. He would pick the smallest guy. Chimaev's a fucking...
Here's where the expert predictions get wild. Daniel Cormier, one of the sharpest analytical minds in MMA, believes Chimaev could face serious problems if the version of Strickland who destroyed Masvidal Hernandez shows up on fight night. DC reminds everyone that even Israel Masvidal at his absolute peak struggled significantly with Chimaev pressure and pace. But here's what's really interesting. Cormier suggests that Strickland seemed mentally off during his title fight against Dricus du Plessis, like he wasn't fully locked in or committed to his game plan. If that was just an off night rather than decline, Chimaev could be walking into a much tougher fight than anyone expects.
Сказал, что на спарринге меня побил. Ну, там ребята были, все видели. И даже видео там есть, как я его душил и бил. И с ним тоже есть такое дело. Выйти в клетку и посмотреть, кто сильнее.
Now listen to this part. Jorge Masvidal is making bold predictions that are turning heads throughout the division. He's not just picking Strickland to win. He's saying he would bet heavily on the outcome and questioning whether Chimaev is as untouchable as his record suggests. Masvidal points to the Kamaru-Chimaev fight as evidence, emphasizing that Usman took the fight on short notice, moved up in weight, and still made it competitive. That performance, according to Masvidal, proves the right fighter with the right game plan can definitely give Chimaev problems. But here's the kicker. Masvidal suggests Chimaev might actually try to avoid this fight entirely, despite their extensive training history together.
Ask that guy who was beating you up every day in the gym, man. So, how many times I submit that guy? How many times I beat him up? He went to his coach, man. He went to his coach, please tell the guy, man, go easy, go easy. And the guy going with this different, he said, like, I went crazy with some guys who was going 166 or this shit, man. He's lying, man. He's lying. He trying to, like, he say, I'm man, I'm this, I'm that. I'm against the game. He's trying to be some macho, man. You're not macho, man. When I punch you hard, you went to your coach and said, please tell the guy, go easy, easy. Oh, fuck off, man. What are you talking about? I beat you up. Was running for me. I've been in his home, man. I've been in his gym. Nobody never comes to my gym and tries to beat me up, you know.
And get this, Strickland's head coach Eric Nixick has developed a specific strategic blueprint to defeat Chimaev, and it's more sophisticated than anyone realizes. The game plan centers around disrupting Chimaev's rhythm and creating doubt in his mind during exchanges. Nixick explains that breaking up Chimaev's dangerous chain wrestling sequences, where he links takedown attempts together relentlessly, can seriously undermine his confidence and effectiveness. The key is making Chimaev pay a physical price for every takedown attempt while defending with absolute technical precision. If you can stuff his takedowns and make him work extremely hard for every position, you gain psychological and physical control as the fight progresses.
Chimaev taking on for the middleweight title Sean Strickland. That is correct. Sean needs no nickname. He gets called lots of names by a lot of people because he's a controversial guy. But I'll tell you what, the way that he beat Alexander Fluffy Hernandez, the way that he put a beat down on him respectfully to Fluffy, the way that he finished him with that knee to the midsection, and then to be honest, how he handled himself on the microphone, right?
Fluffy's the definition of a man.
He deserves this shot. Of course, he lost the belt to Dricus du Plessis. How's he going to do against Khamzat Chimaev? I don't know about that. Khamzat Chimaev is ridiculous. What is he, 15-0? He's a force of nature. Of course, went to a decision with Dricus du Plessis, controlled him throughout the entirety of the fight. Yes, he was trying to finish it, but he did.
But here's where things get absolutely crazy. The division politics surrounding this fight are more complex than anyone admits publicly. Strickland argues that Chimaev's inactivity has actually stalled the entire middleweight division's progress, with everyone sitting around waiting for movement at the top, while Chimaev competes once a year or less. He makes a financial point that most fans don't consider, claiming that chasing the belt often pays less than staying consistently active with regular fights against ranked opponents. Then Strickland goes nuclear, questioning the legitimacy of Chimaev's repeated mysterious injuries that seem to appear right around fight time, suggesting there might be more to these cancellations than meets the eye.
Matchup, Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. Sean Strickland was asking for it after his win against Anthony Hernandez. Poor Nassourdine Imavov. No one cares, buddy. It is bad for Nassourdine Imavov because he is very deserving, but I guess they are taking into consideration the fact that Sean Strickland has a win over Nassourdine Imavov. You know, a lot of people were trashing Sean Strickland about his fighting ability before the Anthony Hernandez fight, including Nassourdine Imavov as well. He was trashing Strickland, saying this guy's complete trash, this guy's garbage. And I even put a tweet out saying, this guy beat you on a week's notice. You know, Strickland has some solid wins, and they're definitely coming into play.
Here's the part that's causing drama throughout the division. Nasruddin Imavov is publicly calling out Strickland for allegedly avoiding a rematch while being willing to face Chimaev. Imavov claims he's been asking the UFC to make this fight for 2 full years, even after his knockout victory over Israel Adesanya proved he belonged at the elite level. He's brutally direct in his assessment, saying Strickland would rather get choked out by Chimaev than face what he would do to him in a rematch. Imavov predicts Strickland would end up unconscious on the canvas with proper preparation and the right weight class. But Strickland dismisses these callouts quickly, saying he's already beaten Imavov and his focus is locked entirely on championship gold.
To me, though he looked great in that DDP fight, I don't think he's all that good, man. I'll be honest with you.
Really?
So there you have it. 2 fighters with genuine hatred, conflicting sparring stories, and completely different visions of how their title fight plays out. This isn't just about who wins the belt. This is about settling years of personal animosity and proving whose version of their training room conflicts was actually true. The expert predictions are split, the division politics are messy, and both fighters seem genuinely convinced they'll dominate the other. Here's my question for you, drop it in the comments. Do you think Strickland's pressure and cardio can neutralize Chimaev's wrestling, or is this just another victim walking into the champion's trap? If this breakdown helped you understand all the layers behind this massive title fight, smash that like button, subscribe for more in-depth MMA analysis, and hit notifications because this rivalry is only getting more intense as we get closer to May 9th.
I don't think so, man. I mean, look at the Usman fight. Usman was a 170-pounder. Took the fight in 11 days' notice. I thought Chimaev lost that fight.
What?
He won the first round. Look at the tape. He won the first round, lost the second and third, didn't get more takedowns. Got stuffed up and got punched in the face more. So I definitely thought Usman won. That's a 170-pounder that's coming off the couch. Now I know he went up to 185 and did some big things, but I don't think he beats Strickland. I don't think so.
What? That is a wild take.
I'll bet.
Yo, that's a wild take.
I'm dumping the house on Strickland on that one.
That's a wild take.
I'm gonna put
really?
like 100 bands, and I don't even think Chimaev fights him because they've trained a lot.
This is a wild take.
You'll see my I'm fucking prize picks. I put up 100 bands of my own money. I'm gonna go whap. That's how confident I am. Strickland beats him.
Dude, that would be huge for his legacy if he beats a guy like Hamzat.
He beats him.
Holy shit! Really?
It's a bad style for him. I've seen Sean go with good wrestlers over at American Top Team. Guys that wrestled their whole lives, All-Americans, national champions, and dude, this guy can wrestle defensively. Now, he never uses his wrestling in a fight, Strickland, but if you try to wrestle with him, you quickly find out this guy can wrestle back into me, and that costs a lot of energy. And Chimaev doesn't have the best guess.
Like, what are the aspects? Because it's kind of cool to get a chance to potentially be the first ones to beat Hamzat, especially when he's so dominant.
Yeah, all of the above. I mean, we're gonna have our work cut out for us, so we know that. But you know, really, like if we can shut some of that stuff down and make him doubt on any of these routes that he's on, especially when it comes to the ground game, he's very systematic. If we can disrupt some of those the kind of the chain wrestling that he puts together, and make him restart and put some doubt in his mind, I think that's where we have to be successful. And not only that, is when you defend those takedowns and if and when you defend them, making them pay for it, not, you know, telling them like, hey, if you're going to come in here, you're going to have to pay a price for that. So there's a lot of things I think that we can apply, and especially with our ideologies here at Extreme Couture and the way that we do our practices, I think it would make for.
I'm going to just tell you guys this right now. If Sean fights Hamzat, Sean wins. Let's see. What do you mean GG's? Chat, I will put $1 million on Sean Strickland. Oblivion clip? Send it to me. I will put $1 million on Sean Strickland when he fights Hamzat. Guys, who do you think is going to be on the White House card? Strickland fight, who do you think wins? Oh, I think Sean wins that.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I do. I want him to.
Really? You want him?
Well, Hamzat called me a bullshit gay, bro.
Bullshit gay?
He called me a gay, bullshit gay.
Why?
So his manager's manager, like a manager of his friend was like, yo, I want to do a stream with you. He's like, yo, you got to pay me like $1 million. I don't pay anyone money to get on streams. And then Khamzat was just like bullshit gay. So
I don't know, man. It's kind of weird what the UFC did with Chimaev. You brought a guy in that fights once a year who's like Madonna, who probably gets like, you know, I mean, how much money does that dictator give him on the table? Like, the guy doesn't need to fight, dude. He's best friends with a warlord. He's just gonna sit on that belt and wait until they force him to fight. But yeah, now the middleweight division, man, like from a pure money perspective, you would make more money not fighting for the belt than you would fighting for the belt. Say Chimaev goes and fights Nasruddin in 6 months. Well, let's say Chimaev sprains his pinky like he normally does. Now he takes another year off. So it's like you're off for 2 years. The belt isn't even like, it's not even in my brain anymore. I didn't even think about it. Like I'll make significantly more money just fighting. You say, hey, you want to wait a year and a half and like not fight, or just keep fighting and fighting good guys and maybe taking an L? I'll just go fight good guys, maybe take an L, and I'll triple my pay. Let's just say Fluffy beats me and like, you know, Fluffy want you for a title fight. Well, I mean, he's gonna fight Nasruddin in probably what, 6 months? Fights Nasruddin, say they have a hard fight, or even if they have an easy fight, he sprains his pinky toe, he's out for another 8 months. So like, Fluffy, you're not fighting for a year and a half if you want to wait for that. And I'm sure you would, but it's like, me personally, I don't give a give me my paycheck. I want to go fight. Every fight, dude, the guy's like, I broke my hand. Dude, I have an x-ray. Want to see it? Like, my shoulder is broken. It's like every time this guy fights, he has a mysterious...
There's a tweet, an interesting tweet that came out from your pal, Mr. Nasruddin Imavov. He says, my dream, bring me the clown for the crown.
Listen, dude, I've moved past you. You know, I beat you. Relax. Either you get the belt or I get the belt. Once you get the belt, I'll take it from you. Once I get the belt, you'll...
Called you right now, and they said, who do you want? I'll let you pick. It's Khamzat for the chance to hand that man his first loss and try to win the belt from him, or is it Sean Strickland? Because I just hate this guy.
Congratulations. Of course, if I hear you, Khamzat is a big challenge, you know? And he knows, and we know, and the UFC knows that I'm able to go to this fight, and I'm willing to go to this fight, whatever happens, because what I said since a lot of time, it's not right now, is the only thing I'm focusing on is the belt, not the owner of the belt. And that's not since Khamzat gets this belt that I said that, but I said that way before, because that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day is the belt around my waist. If the UFC called me tomorrow, with the hate I have in my heart, of course it will be Sean Strickland, you know, and then I can fight Khamzat or whatever, but what I have in my heart right now is to erase this defeat, this loss I had a few years